Hello. Today, we're going to go over some combos, how to kind of formulate combos around your add-ons, around situations, large scale, dueling. I figure the best way for me to go over this is with Warrior, since he has a lot of potential for comboing as well as like his large scale issues. So I'm in Succession because I think this will be easier to kind of like showcase how like you can fix combos, because the kit is really simple in Succession and there's a few variations of his combo, but realistically it's kind of the same thing for the most part. So we're gonna go on how we can formulate like a large scale combo, how we can formulate a dueling combo, and overall just, you know, tailor things to your playstyle. And I'm just gonna go over what I do and then just sort of like give the thought process as to why I do things, because people have a hard time understanding some of the things that I do. I've explained my Warrior add-ons before, I've explained my Warrior playstyle before, and some players kind of don't get it. And I think it's just because like they don't like experience what I experience, and there is a difference in the game of whenever you're a low tier player and you're fighting like in T1 guilds, and or like you're, you know, in a lower guild with lower gear score. It's the game is it's different. It's different because at that point, the lower your gear, it's not really about like, oh, I need to get up from a combo, because if you're a low gear score, you're not gonna get up from a combo. That's just not gonna happen. Like you're gonna die regardless because you have no gear. So when you start, you know, fighting higher level players and you start fighting people on your level in terms of gear, where you're like, you know, you're 715 gear score and you're fighting people that are 700 plus, then the field is more leveled out to a degree. There's still a lot of imbalances, but to a degree it's leveled out, and it's no longer about like just one-shotting somebody. The game changes. Because when you're a low gear score motherfucker, bro, I'm telling you, you could one-shot people like it's nothing. It's crazy whenever you're just like fighting lower level guilds and you're just, you know, dropping kit, and it doesn't matter. Like you could be like 270 AP and somebody will get evaporated in 2 seconds. Let's start with add-ons, okay? So for Succession add-ons, I run this for large scale for the most part. The reason I run this for large scale is because it covers both dueling, and when I say dueling, I mean like I have to combo somebody out in large scale, which even still covers dueling as well. Like if I go to BA or something and I want a 1v1, it still covers that. But it also covers my just large scale engage. Now, when I say large scale engage, some of you might be wondering, what do you mean by that? For me, large scale engage is the protected damage kit drop. So basically, when you're gonna dive in, when you're like shot callers like PA dive, and you're like, all right, how do I do that? Believe it or not, some people have no idea how the fuck to do that. And yeah, I didn't either. It took me years to kind of figure out how to like just formulate combos and engages around large scale, because it's not the same as dueling. You like combo, especially now that I play Warrior, and Zerker is a lot easier because like you can range into a ball and then you can protect a damage drop easily. Like the kit is just fit for large scale. It's made for it. Warrior though, not so much, especially Awakening. Succession is definitely the better spec for large scale, but Awakening suffers immensely in large scale. But when I first heard PA dive, and a long time ago when I was just getting into, you know, large scale, I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know how to dive. I didn't know, like I just thought I'd just dive in and die. Like that's just what I was supposed to do. But obviously that's not optimal. So I had to like sit down with somebody and explain to me like, okay, well, large scale, you know, you need to figure out what your protected damage is and how you can reliably get it off, and then also you need to figure out how you can buff that damage to where you can burst people down, because in large scale you don't have time to combo people. That's not something you're doing. Like you're not gonna walk up to a motherfucker, grip him up and hit him with the 1-2 buckle my shoe kind of shit. Like you're not doing any of this. Like you're not gonna combo like this in large scale. Some of that you do use in large scale, but like the whole heavy strikes, ground slash, fucking this shit, no, you're not doing any of that nonsense in large scale. That is a quick ticket to the respawn screen. So instead, we need to look at our kit and figure out what the fuck is protected. And believe it or not, there are two different things for protections in terms of like what protected and protected damage is. Okay, I'll give you an example. Protected damage, Scars of Dusk. This is our burst damage skill. This is our like hardest hitting thing that we have in Suck. Okay, this is big damage, right? And it's protected with forward guard. It's not fully protected, but it is protected. Okay, now protections in terms of just like throwing something that is protected, we can use chopping kick. this does literally 0 damage. This is like nothing. Like this is this is nothing. So to keep myself protected, I could throw this as an SA and stay protected, but it's not protected damage. Sure, you might be able to last hit somebody with this and maybe kill them that way, but it's not damage. It's not something you're doing for damage. It's movement as well as a cancel tool. So a good example would be, let's say I do ground smash, ground tremor, and then I can, link iframe into, SA, and I can cancel my ground smash. That's what it's used for. It's protections, not protected damage. It was like this protected damage, this protected damage, this protection. Difference. So we need to find our protected damage, and I've already expressed Scars of Dusk, ground smash, ground tremor, and then we also have pulverize. These abilities are our main uses for damage. This is going to be like the whole protected combo. So pretty much the protected combo is going to be Scars of Dusk, ground smash, ground tremor, and then pulverize, and then we just get out. That's going to be the protected kit drop for our damage. Now we need to formulate a way to get that going, because obviously you're not just going to walk up to a dude and just be like, you know what, here you go, buddy, take this shit. And like, that's not like, what the fuck? All right, so here's what we're going to do. Okay, we need to figure out cancels now. All right, so we need to figure out, how do I speed up the animation for Scars at Dusk? Well, the best way you can fucking do that shit is this. Bada bing, goes directly into everything. Damage drop, here we go. Yes sir, yup, and we're out of here. And boom, that's it. Video's over. Goodbye. All right, I'm joking, but like, it's an option, right? If you want to get damage going, the easiest way to cancel into Scars of Dusk is going to be counter. This is our main cancel tool for a lot of different things, and it's mainly used for my engage. I can do this in a variety of different ways, whether it be I do counter Scars of Dusk, or I can do counter into spin slash, which will then I can do something else. So I could do, let's say, boom, 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 and then boom, and then run away. That's something you could do. So there's a few different variations to that, and then not to mention, that's just a projectile version, right? Like, you don't have to use that version. You could use just the regular like spin counter. So you could do this, which is a knockdown and not a float. If you guys didn't notice, the projectile version is a float, and then the regular like just spin counter, this one is a knockdown. It doesn't have any range, but it's a knockdown nonetheless, which is the longer version of the CC. This one is a combo tool. You're not going to do that in large scale. You can do it in large scale. It's actually not bad, but like in terms of an engage, that's more than less reliable for an engage. The better practical engage is going to be this one right here, because it's a projectile and you can follow it up with protected damage that can, hit really hard. And that is why we have formulated our add-ons around Scars of Dusk, because this is our burst damage ability. And then whenever we're throwing ground smash, ground tremor, we want to be able to have as much damage as possible for the cleanup. So we have Scars of Dusk burst down 90% of their HP, and then we have ground smash, ground tremor plus pulverize to be able to do the most amount of damage to clean up. So the add-ons, the way I formulated it, is perfect. Counter, Scars of Dusk, ground smash, ground tremor, and we get basically all DP minus 15, and then we get down attack damage. I would actually change the down attack damage now that I'm thinking about it. That's kind of a dueling thing, which is why I had that up there. I would change it personally to crit instead, because crit is really good for Scars of Dusk because it has 100% crit damage. So that's why I would do that instead. So when you engage, you do shield charge into counter and then Scars of Dusk. So it should look like this. And as you can see, we got all of our buffs procced and we're bursting with Scars of Dusk. Super simple, super easy, right? And that's just Scars of Dusk, right? I've killed people off of this shit right here alone. Like that, it's totally feasible. It's crazy. The burst on Scars is nuts. But now, after Scars of Dusk, as you can see, we have extra add-ons in order to do even more damage, right? So Scars of Dusk, not only does it give us a 10%, or not 10%, that'd be crazy. It's like all AP plus 10 or some shit like that. Which I just noticed something here in the add-on section. It actually says like all DP plus 10. That's actually not correct. It's supposed to be all AP plus 10. as you can see right here, all AP plus 10. That's the actual skill. So it's supposed to give AP. Here in the add-on description though, it still says all DP plus 10. So that's inaccurate. Don't listen to this. This is nonsense. But anyway, Scars of Dusk gives us AP plus 10. Not to mention we get extra human damage off the add-on, and we get critical hit damage off of that as well. So yes, we are a little bit overstacking because counter is crit as well, so we're kind of canceling it out a little bit here, and we could have something more useful. However, Scars of Dusk, we needed to hit as hard as possible. So if you really just want to keep the damage up as much as you can, you could change out the Scars of Dusk add-on here. You could put like attack speed on it. Attack speed's not really that bad on this either, because like what you can do instead is run out like you could run the attack speed add-on, and it'll basically speed up the animations of anything else that'll happen as well. So you could do like extra damage to humans plus 10, and then you could do attack speed on this. That's probably what I would prefer to have on there more than anything else. So that's a preference thing, but yeah. So now once we engage, we go boom, 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 and we have all of our abilities fully stacked with damage pretty much. Like we're basically just doing a fuck ton of damage. The burst from Scars, from Ground Smash, Ground Tremor will be enough to kill most players. And in large scale, we're pretty much fishing for the squishies, and we're looking for the ones like archers, casters, things like that, that will get bursted down really easily. That's the goal, is to get those important players out of there, so that way our ball doesn't have to fight a ton of range. So my job is to find the squishies, and then once I find them, my job is to make them unfucking comfortable, so that way I can burst them the fuck down and basically make them run away and get them off of shooting my ball. So that is the whole formulation and the process of my combo for large scale. That is what I am going for. My job is to kill the squishies and make sure that they're not shooting into my squishies and making them uncomfortable and just being an overall general nuisance. Warrior is not a frag class. He does not get a million kills. That is a rare occurrence whenever that happens. That is a once a blue moon, or you're just different. There's very few warrior players that are ever going to be like top 10 on the first page of wars. Like that's not something that ever really happens. It's very difficult to do, especially in Awakening. Like honestly, your death ratio is going to be awful in Awakening. Succession though, you have more opportunities to top frag and suck than you do Awakening for sure. But yeah, anyway, that's how I formulate combos. I just kind of look at my abilities, figure out what's protected and then what's protected damage, and then formulate how I can buff those abilities, figure out which one does the most damage. I figured out that Scars of Dusk is the one that hurts the most, and then the runner up for that is going to be Ground Smash, Ground Tremor, and then Pulverize. Those are going to be the abilities that do the most damage and that are protected too. So now that I learned all the protections and figured out what exactly I can do in large scale to stay protected as well as get people off the field, I now need to figure out what is a way that I can engage and reliably get that damage going, because that's the biggest problem. A lot of people don't learn to get a combo going. They'll sit here on a dummy all fucking day and just practice one combo until their fingers bleed, and like this is their whole life. They just do this on repeat and just watch it. They'll do it for 20 hours a day, but then when it comes to getting it going and putting it in action, they fumble that fucking combo like it's just the worst shit ever. Like they just can't get it going. So instead of practicing it on a dummy, the easiest way to just practice is just do it in large scale. Go GVG, go do whatever you can and just try and get shit going as much as possible. You have to lose and die on repeat in order to find the way to do things. Like that's just the way I did it. Like maybe people learn and you're just a gifted prodigy or some shit, I don't fucking know, but for the most part for me, I zero talent. I just had to practice and lose on repeat until I learned to figure out how to not lose anymore. And even then, like some days you're just gonna lose. Like you're just gonna play poorly and you're just gonna be shit. Like that, it happens. It's a game. Like as much as I want to be the perfect player, shit, my fucking prime is gone, bro. I'm pushing 30. I got an 11-year-old. Man, I gotta pack it in. I'm surprised I still have my fucking hairline. That's why I picked up Suck Warrior, so my fingers don't hurt as much. Arthritis is kicking in, boys. So just explore different options. Figure out your CCs. Figure out basically just learn to play the game is what I'm saying here. I don't know why I had to make a video about this, but like people struggle with learning how to get combos going, and that's I guess like they didn't understand how to formulate combos based on your add-ons and figure out how to formulate engages. I've had to tell multiple warriors this shit on repeat, so I just I guess this video is for those people that need the drill. I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.